Yo, what's good, everybody, man? So today we're back. I took a week off, man. With everything going on right now, I want everybody to sit back and just relax and try to get everything together. But I'm glad to be back, man. And today I got somebody special. So like this dude here, man, he's a good guy, man. I covering the NBA, man. I get a chance to become friends with a lot of different NBA players or even just Major League Baseball, different sports. And this dude here, man, is one of the dopest athletes that I've been around, man. And before we do that, man, just everybody be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow him. His link will be in the profile and everything. Follow his journey, his career and everything. This dude here, man, is a family man. His family, dope family, man. They big into sneakers and stuff, man. So we're gonna talk about that definitely today as well. And like I said, be sure to follow the channel and everything. And while we do that, I also pray for everyone out there. Pray for all the protesters right now. And pray for everyone right now, man. Let's get everything rolling, man. So, like I said, we're gonna bring them in a second, but definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel and everything. So let's get it going. All right, everybody. So this dude here, man, he is
What's up, boss?
one of my favorite guys, man. Tyler Ennis in the building, everybody. What's good, Tyler?
How you doing, bro?
Man, doing
What's
good,
up?
doing good, man.
Thanks for having me too, man. Thank you.
Oh man, of course, man. This is gonna happen anyway. Glad to have you on. So, man, I don't even know where to start at. Let's start with some hoops real quick, man. So we're gonna talk some basketball, man. So, what made you want to play basketball? Because like I know a lot of times a lot of guys play different sports and then they finally latch on to basketball. What made you want to play basketball?
Well, first and foremost, I grew up with my dad as a coach. He coached me while I was younger too, but I also have two older brothers who one played Division II, and then my other older brother played at Oregon, or played at Villanova, and then transferred to Oregon. So I grew up in a basketball family. For a while, I was the youngest kid, kind of just getting put on teams, and they give me a jersey just to let me sit on the bench, but I'd never play. I was so young, but it just kind of in my blood. My uncles played, and it kind of naturally just came to me. Talent-wise, I was super young, probably 4 or 5 years old, playing with my brother's teams who were like almost 10. So I mean, I was a little bit ahead of the curve in that sense. But I just grew up in a basketball family, and it's the same way today.
So being in a basketball family, man, like I know y'all got played a lot of 21, played 25, played horse a lot, man. What was your go-to game that you knew you could beat your family in, man?
Yeah. 2-on-2, honestly, because I'm born '94. My next oldest brother born '91. My other 89. I mean, now it's different for us as far as maturity and what you grow up, but the difference between a guy that's 15 and a guy that's 9, that's just a huge difference. So we would always play twos, me, my two brothers, and our close family friend, just as a way to kind of even it out. And that's when I was able to kind of hold my own. And then of course shooting drills, 21 and different drills like that, horse. But I was always the youngest. I was the one getting beat up for most of the time, and I think that's what helped me though. I think that's what gave me the physicality and taught me how to fight, because I was the youngest growing up, and the youngest doesn't get anything easy. So.
Man, so we're gonna fast forward and we're gonna get into college, man. So obviously you went to a prestigious college, you played for a prestigious coach. Can you talk about the college life and what college hoops brought for you, man?
Yeah, college was great, man. I was only there for a year, but Syracuse, where I went, was my dream school. I grew up in Toronto. Syracuse is about 4 hours away. So for us in Canada at the time, that was the closest thing we had to college hoops was watching Syracuse games, because that's the only games they would broadcast consistently in Toronto at the time. Things have changed now with all the NBA players and how far basketball has came. Now they show games, but back then, I remember every Sunday morning or Saturday morning they'd show these Syracuse games, and I'd watch. And one particular tournament, we had a AAU tournament. I was about 10 years old. It was the Carrier Dome Classic. So they just put a bunch of courts in the Carrier Dome, and we just hoop. And I remember saying, telling my dad, like, yo, this is where I want to go. That's my dream school. And from then on, obviously, it was my dream school. And then, things kind of fell into place once I was actually getting recruited. They had Michael Carter-Williams into the draft, they had Deion Waiters
Yeah.
lead, they had Scoop Jardine graduate, and it kind of opened up for me to come in and start day one. And for me, I wasn't going to turn that down. So, but it was great playing for Coach Boeheim, one of the best coaches of all time. And he had he gave me freedom from day one, which isn't normal. Freshmen don't usually play on his team unless they have to, and I had to, and he gave me the keys to the car and let me drive. So I thank him. I had a great experience there, and I learned a lot while I was there. And I kind of started a Canadian pipeline of Syracuse. I didn't start it. I continued it. Just kids from Toronto going to Syracuse and kind of followed in my footsteps. And we had O'Shea Brissett follow after me and go there. And then, we had two of the top girls in the country commit there about a month ago. So I'm glad I could have been a part of that.
Man, that's dope, man, because you went to a prestigious school, and obviously, Carmelo Anthony going there, having a crazy, arguably the greatest freshman year ever in basketball, college basketball history, Hakeem Warrior, the McNamara's of the world, and you come along. That's pretty dope, man. So I got to ask you this, man. Who is your favorite all-time players? Who are your favorite all-time players? Like, you can give me as many as you can, but who are some guys that you looked up to, man, or you played against that you liked all time?
My favorite was T-Mac. Growing up in Toronto, he was like a young guy. When I went to the first Raptors game after lockout, and I remember just kind of latching on to T-Mac as I grew up, Warren #1, everything like that, and then following him and being a fan of his throughout his whole career, and then obviously Steve Nash. Being a point guard, I was a point guard all my life. He was one of the few Canadians that we had in the NBA, and one of the few people you could kind of like latch on to and like. He's from where I'm from, but in reality, he was from up north in Canada. And, from Toronto, we had Jamal McGlure, but he was a big guy. So I kind of latched on to Steve. And I'm glad now kids from where I grew up and kids in Toronto can kind of look at, having a guard as their favorite player and just seeing people from here that can make it to the NBA and the highest levels of basketball. So.
See, man, I think that's dope, man. Like Canada basketball now, I mean, you got, Tristan Thompson, yourself, man. You got Steve Nash, obviously the legend. What did Vince Carter, being in Toronto, playing for the Raptors, do? Because I know they had Damon Stoudemire before that, Marcus Camby. I'm sure you watched all those guys, but Vince Carter sort of gave us the whole feeling in the USA to make us want to watch, like, the Toronto side of basketball. Being a kid or being a young teenager watching Vince Carter, what did that do for you, man?
It was huge, man. Like I said, it was at a time where it was just hockey. Basketball. We had an NBA team, but they weren't showing NBA highlights even. So I remember as a kid we'd watch highlights and they'd show all these hockey games, and then we'd wait for a 30-second basketball, and it'd be like the NBA finals, and we wouldn't be able to watch it because we don't got ESPN in Toronto even to this day.
Okay.
He was huge, man. He kind of was the first guy to really come in and seem like he was proud to be playing here. And then from there, I think you've seen it with Kawhi and Kyle Lowry and how much the city supports, basketball. That's just the way it is. You with no team in Vancouver, you're basically playing for a country. That's where the Raptors are the only team in Canada. And so I think Vince kind of put us on. And I think if you watch the documentary, he was brought bottle service to Toronto, and he kind of brought, it was kind of like a clash of two cultures. We had our own culture up here, and nobody really knew about it.
Yeah.
And now I think Vince was the start of it. And then from there, it kept building with basketball music, with Drake and The Weeknd and Bieber and everybody we have here that's from here. And now people, I think, put Toronto on a list of places they want to visit. And it wasn't like that a few years ago as far as before Vince and among other things. But I think basketball-wise, he really showed us, what basketball is about and gave us somebody to look forward to watching.
See, man, I think that's dope, man, because like I said, it's a lot of Canadian hoopers now in the NBA, and I think that's dope, man. And like, you guys gonna make, I think in a few more years, man, with the more talent that's coming out, when it's time to face USA in those Olympics, man, it's gonna be pretty interesting because you guys are bringing in guys in. So I got to ask you this, man. Obviously, you played for a historic franchise, at one time in your career, obviously the Los Angeles Lakers. So compared to all the teams that you did play for, and this was a question from Bryant, so I'm gonna pull up his question real quick. He wanted to know, How was it to play for the Lakers versus playing for any other team that you played for? Like playing for the Lakers, had to be a unique thing for you, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think every team has their own history. And as the little kid in me, you look at those. So like playing for, the Suns, I was like, dang, I'm playing for the same team as Nash and these guys. So every team you kind of find that, but I think the Lakers have such a rich history. When I got traded there, it kind of didn't hit me until you get there and you see the jerseys and you get the practice facility, and we were still in the old practice facility, so where Kobe and Shaq practiced and everything. And even though, that was my third year in the league when I got traded there, I think, you still get that little kid, the jitters in your stomach, like, all right, the Lakers, they had all these guys, Magic, Kobe, the list goes on, and they want you. And, for me, I remember the first game, little story was, I would always put my jerseys on the floor before I put them on, just something I do. I never noticed I did it. So I got to the Lakers because they're like, Dan, you can't put the gold jersey on the floor and this and I think the fans is a part of it too, because in LA everywhere you go people are Laker fans, and I just think they have one of the best fan bases, one of the big, so everywhere you go in LA you're treated like, we weren't good at the time and we still got a lot of love. People just loved the Lakers and they kind of seen a vision of what they were putting together. And now I think once you get LeBron, it kind of takes off to a new level and everything speeds up,
Man. So I know your rookie year, man, me and you talked, and you mentioned a player. You mentioned several players, and one player that you talked about quite oftenly that you would say is like one guy that you love watching was Kobe Bryant. And unfortunately, Kobe Bryant did pass away obviously this year. What did Kobe mean to you basketball-wise? Because obviously playing for the Lakers, he had an input. His vision was always in there in that locker room, obviously, and just things that you heard around the city and things. But what did Kobe Bryant mean to you, man?
Yeah, he was huge, man. I think he was somebody everybody looked up to, including the superstars in the league. I think that was shown by how much love and his how much his passing hurt everybody. But I got to LA the year after he retired, so
Yeah.
You'd hear a bunch of Kobe stories, and I think as a fan of his, that was something that was cool about it. They still had the same security they used, and everybody was the same. So just kind of seeing how he went about his business, how he, before he got to the end of his career, how hard he worked, and the stories of him waking up early and beating guys at the gym and everything. I think as a guy in the NBA or a professional basketball player, you look for those motivations, and I think he never ceased to give us motivation, whether it was beating someone to the gym or how much shots he put up in the summer. And it just, he was like a myth. Like he wasn't a real person, because he was like, he would do this stuff that you'd be like, nobody would even think of doing. And then from there, how the NBA is, everybody follows it, and you see guys taking the helicopter to the game. I never heard of anybody doing that before him. And I just think he gave I think my generation somebody to look up to, but also just someone have work ethic off of, and the forefront of that for me personally, just how he worked. So
Man, that's dope, man. See, and to me, that's a big deal, because like people don't understand, like you've been there before. The dude was so gracious, man, on and off the court. But I'm gonna name a couple of NBA players, man. And obviously you faced a few of these guys, and I want you to tell the fans like what it is to be like on the court with those guys and being against them, or even being teammates versus them or facing them. I'm sorry. So the first name that's gonna come up with mine, obviously, LeBron James. How was it to face LeBron James? And obviously, you were a young teenager when he was in the league, so you got a chance to watch him from a different aspect as well, not only just play against, but how is that to face a guy like LeBron James?
It's dope. It was kind of like a full circle once I got to the NBA, being able to go to his camps as a high school kid. And, but I think there's certain people you have, like kind of like a oh shit moment when you're playing them, like, oh, I'm really out here with this guy. Yeah. And I think he's obviously one of them, being one of the greatest players we've ever seen in basketball. But I'll say this, after, whenever a few possessions after warm up, as a player myself, you kind of forget who you're playing. But he's one of the few guys you don't forget, because no matter what you do, he's gonna get his 25, 8 and 8, and I think he's one of the guys that I think is I'm gonna look back and be able to tell people, like, I was on the same court as him, and I don't think we're done seeing what he can do, and it's gonna be exciting to look back. Hopefully they do it like a documentary, like they did with Mike and the Bulls, and just because I think that was I think he's just entertainment all around, on the court, off the court. So I'm a huge fan of what he does also in the community and how he speaks up. I think we haven't seen that as much as what he does. He's lets us know every day he's one of us, and he'll speak up about it no matter what his platform is. So I have a lot of respect for him.
All right, man. Yeah, and see, like, people don't understand, man. Like, I tell people all the time, like, I done been around a lot of NBA players. It's just it's a different kind of feeling, man, when you're around a guy like LeBron. So the next player that comes to mind, this dude's a bucket getter, man. Kevin Durant. Like, people don't realize how difficult it is to guard this dude. Can you talk about Kevin Durant in this game? Because he's 7 foot tall. He'll deny it, but he's 7 foot tall. Can you talk about KD, man?
Yeah, I think when you talking to a regular fan, I don't think they realize how tall he is, like 7 feet. That's usually, especially now, you barely get a 7 footer on the court starting. You have got how small the game is, but I mean, one of the most unguardable people I've played against, I've ever seen. I think he combination how skilled he is and how tall he is, and he can score any way he wants. And I think I had two experiences with him. Was just my first year. I want to say one of the years he was I think when he hurt his foot, and I think I was on the Suns, but he came back and we were like the first game back, and I swear he had like 38 or 50 or something crazy, and it's like, yo, for somebody to take time off and be injured and not even play in the game, and to come back and have the performance he had against us, I was he's the real deal. And then my second experience, more close up, was in the summer at UCLA. If you don't know, at UCLA, you have any given day you could have a bunch of people come in. You could have one day you could have all local LA guys you never heard of, and it could be good runs. And then you could have every NBA superstar all in the gym. And I remember one day he was there, and we had a team full of NBA guys. I think we had Pascal, we had a bunch of guys, and literally there's nothing we could do. That was one of the experiences where you're like, yo, do we got to double team this dude? Because if he's not hitting the shot or getting to a spot, he's getting fouled. And obviously it's not the NBA. We don't have schemes, so he was just rattling off however much he wanted to score that game. He was doing it. So I'm also a huge fan of KD's. Another guy I think who has such a big platform and has so much respect in the NBA, but he's just a regular guy at the end of the day, and he does what he has to do for the community. So I have a lot of respect for KD as well. I know that's your guy as well. So I wore in college. Speaking of kicks, I wore only KDs.
Yeah, I remember you told me that. Like, it was crazy. Yeah, I used to wear the KDs. Yeah, man.
I mean, I love KD's game, and I think he's a dope dude too.
So, man, you spoke about Canada and like the basketball culture there. So now the NBA is starting to understand that international basketball, obviously, Dirk Nowitzki, guys like that, legendary guys. But now we got certain guys like Jokic in the league. But there's this one guy, man, you obviously know in Dallas, Luka Doncic. Can you talk about what you see from him, man? And like, I was trying to explain to people, like, this dude had been playing against pros. Like, he had a sort of advantage of playing against like grown men his whole life. Whereas like a lot of us would have to go play people our age. Can you talk about what you see from him as a basketball player, skill wise, man, and just him being only 21 and already, I think he's averaging like 30, 10, and 9 already.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. Similar to those two guys, I think it's just, you could guard people, you could have the best defender, and there's only so much you can do. I think it's hard to explain to people the level of basketball in Europe. I've seen it playing whatever. I played 3 games before I got injured over there. I think people think Europe is a walk in the park, and an NBA got over there and averages 30. Like, no, guys over there will average 10 and go to the NBA and average 20. It's just a different. Not that the basketball is better, but I think it's just a different style of play. And he said it. It's easier to score in the NBA than Europe with the rules and the way they call fouls and different things. And you see it. You see from rookie year to second year to third year with college All-Americans. But yeah, like college All-Americans, it takes him a few years to get used to playing with grown men. So now he went through that back when he was 16 years old. So him at 21, this is 6th, 7th year playing professionally. So I think it's exciting to see what he's going to become in the NBA. He's already a household name and has his team, has you guys going crazy. So, I mean, another guy I'm a fan of and just watching him play, I think it's entertainment. So it'll be interesting to see where he could take his game in the next, whatever it is, 15 years of playing.
I think that's dope, man. So I had another fan question. They wanted to ask you, what do you think about the NBA extended season? Or what would it be like to have an extended, like with this whole thing going on right now with the pandemic and everything, COVID-19, like, is that tough to do? Because, like, it's almost like you had a summer vacation, now you're forced to come back to play into a tournament. How do you feel about that?
Yeah.
What is that? I think that's kind of weird. Like, I don't know if you should just cancel the season, but man, that's going to be. I think that may be an advantage to certain teams who had guys that were banged up. But what do you think about
that? I think if there wasn't TV money involved, I would personally like to see the season get canceled, just so that next year is back to regular season. So that was my opinion going into it. But I know there's a lot of money, a lot of stuff riding on, other stuff. I think because in the summer guys usually take off, and then they kind of build their way back up, and they spend months doing that, build their way up to get ready for training camp, to get ready for the season, and that's it could be a 4 or 5 month process to do that, with only taking maybe a month, maybe a few weeks off. So now you're forcing guys to not leave their house and basically take a few months off basketball and then ask them to go play at a playoff level. So I think that's why, they kind of give time to guys to work out, guys to have training camp. But I think it'll be a different vibe for sure. I don't know how it'll play out, whether it be good or bad, but I know the vibe will be different, obviously with no fans. And then I just hope guys don't go out there and get injured because of the time off back into playing. So, I mean, I think we're all just dying to see some basketball. So whatever the product is on the court, I think we'll be happy to watch. But hopefully it's something new and unique that we'll look back and enjoy, as far as watching the rest of the season play out.
All right, one last two things, man. So one thing I want to talk about is your skill. So I know a lot of times athleticism gets brought up in certain things that you do, scoring and all that. But one thing I know about you, just watching you up close and being able to watch you and cover you, your IQ is always something that you took pride in, like being able to get people involved, playmaking, playing without the ball in your hand, moving around. What were some things like growing up and even now that you work on continuously to get yourself better?
Yeah, ever since I picked up a ball, I've been a point guard. So naturally, what I do is make plays for others, pass the rock, put guys in the spots. And I think the NBA came, in transition to a different place where now you need all 5 guys to score. So, obviously showing I have the ability to do that is something that I, try to incorporate and not change my game too much into being taking away my best skill, which is, making others better, but, showing I can shoot the ball, showing I can score. And I think that's, something that changed in the past few years. So it's something that you got to adjust to. And that's, what basketball is, adjusting to the way the game's played. But, I think I'm able to play both positions. I'm naturally a point guard, but I'm able to play the 2 and score a little bit when my team needs. But, I think that's the main part of my game is being a point guard. And that's what you see. I think when you watch a game, you see me, trying to get other guys, the guys you named, if I'm playing with them, trying to get them the rock and make it easiest, possible for them. But, whatever my team needs, I think I work on everything. Right now, I think it's mainly scoring. But, as the game progresses and as myself personally, I get better and get older, I think, wherever the game goes, you got to adjust to it in order to stay relevant. And, you see that with now you see big guys shooting threes, whereas a couple years ago you didn't see that. And just kind of changed with the time. So.
Man. So you know what we got to talk about now. So obviously, sneakers, man. You know me and you, man. I can't, man. The times we talk about sneakers, because obviously you had a prestigious thing going, obviously, because you were part of the brand. And see, that's a thing that you can brag about because, I would come to the game with my J's on and, here you come, you getting the player exclusives and stuff. You're a Jordan brand guy. You get to wear all the heat and stuff, man. What are your favorite sneakers like all time, man? Because like, I know it can change periodically as you get older. Because like at one time I used to love the Jordan 5, and now I love the Jordan 1, but now I like the Jordan 3. Like I can switch it up. But what are your favorite sneakers of all time,
man? So my favorite sneaker is the Aqua 8. Growing up, I loved the Aqua 8s. And funny enough, when I got them finally, I didn't like wearing them. They weren't, most comfortable, functional shoe for me. But I mean, Aqua 8 is up there. I love the True Blue 3s. And then when I did sign with Jordan Brand, I probably said I wore the most Jordan 1s, just because, they have so many different colorways you can wear, but also they have the lows, which I'm a fan of. I know everybody hates them. But me and one of my good friends, we love the 1s. So we'd always, wear the 1s. And then once people see them on your feet, they'd be like, all right, now I see why Jordan made some low cuts and whatever. But, yeah, I mean, we would always have, long convos about sneakers. A lot of guys in the NBA are, sneakerheads. But, for me, I would mix it up. I'd wear some, just straight basketball shoes. Sometimes I pulled out the 10s, the grade 10s, and you were going crazy because I was about to wear them in the game. But yeah, it's fun, man. I think the sneaker community is different, and not everybody. There's certain guys that have sneakers. They get them for free, obviously being in the NBA. But there's certain guys that really take pride in it. And I know you were one of the guys, one of the only people going on the road. I knew you were about to have some heat on, so I always had to break when we came to Dallas. So. So we had some really good sneaker combos, and yeah, I got to do a video. I've had a bunch of questions. When I moved from LA, I put all my stuff in storage, and we've kind of been on the move and transitioning to moving back. But I haven't had my sneakers for just under 2 years, and I've had a bunch of people ask just for a big video, and I'm gonna do them up. Maybe I'll come back on and do a sneaker review and just show mine and my girlfriend Erica's our sneaker collection, because it's crazy. So.
Yes. So now that's the next thing, because man, look, my wife, she likes kicks, and I know there's couples out there that everybody has their select kicks, but man, I know it has to be a competition, because look, if y'all don't know, Erica got heat. Like she got heat. Like it ain't like just like normal stuff. And it's like man, and that was the thing that was crazy, because like when you guys first got together, I was like, man, that's gonna be the craziest thing. Who get the biggest sneaker closet? Because like that was my first thing. I was like, she got heat, he got heat. It's like they gradually don't say nothing. But man, how is it to, be, have the spouse, man, that y'all rocking kicks, man? Is it like competition, and how does that work, man? Because I know there's things that you probably want to get that she'll get, or vice versa, right?
Yeah. It was I think when we first met, she would make fun of me because I didn't have as much sneakers as her. Obviously, not a lot of people in the world have as much sneakers as her, but she had everything. And then once I signed with Jordan Brand, I started getting stuff every month. So for people that don't know, Jordan Brand, every month you get this you get a package, basically probably 10 to 15 sneakers and then a box of Jordan gear. So 4 years in the NBA, every month I'm getting 10, 15 pairs of shoes. So I more than her. And then we have a sneaker room where we put both our kicks, and we realized that I had more. And she would get mad because people would bother her about it, that I, NBA, basketball, and she's a sneakerhead, I got more kicks than her. But obviously it's like a cheat code being with Jordan Brand. And, it's cool. I think she, at the start we would match shoes and everything. And now, she'll pull up with a pair of kicks. I'll be like, yo, what are those? And vice versa. So it's fun. But, as we got older, we started wearing, different kicks. We're not always putting on, our favorite J's. So it's funny to see like the progression as we got older, how we matured. But yeah, she got probably 300 plus pairs of sneakers she has in the closet. So we got a crazy sneaker room at our house.
Yeah, man, and that's crazy that you said it. 'Cause like you said, when you used to come to town, I had to make sure. Like, and there's certain guys that I talk to, so I got to make sure I put on some heat. It was like always my thing. But now it's kind of like, okay, yeah, I could do it. But man, people now they see me at the games, they're like, I'm rocking New Balance. I'm rocking like basic stuff. They're like, because my feet, like now, it's my feet starting to hurt. Because you can't rock. That's what I was thinking. Like the day when you had them
Right,
tens, I was just
exactly.
like. I was like, how is he? Because like somebody, like my boy called me. And he was like, hey, bro, Tyler got them tens on out here. Dude, I was driving into the parking lot of the stadium. I ran in. I looked from a distance. I could see it. I was like, he don't have the tens. I had to run to the court. And I was like, how's he hooping in tens? Like, is it easy to hoop in retros? Because like that was a question I want to know. Is it easier to hoop in retros for you? Because I know a lot of people, they can't just hoop in retros, but you seem to be able to do that really well.
Yeah, you know what? Growing up, I could hoop in anything. High school, whatever the case is, I could hoop in any sneaker and it really wouldn't affect me. But as I got older, I started to feel the difference. In like, for instance, a pair of Kobe's, that's a basketball shoe that's made for basketball, and then a retro, whatever number, and I started realizing like I would be in the game like, yeah, this don't feel right. Certain kicks, but for me, the tens was always, I never noticed the difference between a regular retro and a hoop shoe with the tens. Um, the sevens able to hoop a little bit in the college, and then the 11s as well. I hooped. So and then the 14s. So probably those four are the only kicks I probably like. If I'm going on a road trip and I want to wear those, because I know they'll feel good. But anything else, one year they had us for Veterans Day. They gave us like a PE for all the Jordan Brand NBA guys, and I think it was a 17.
It was 17. It was 17.
And I remember like planning to wear them, but I'm like, all right, I gotta bring a backup pair just in case it's don't go good. But I remember for the tens, I wore them. I had them like a week or two before I came to Dallas, and I seen you, and I kind of broke them in a little bit. But the tens for the most part kind of feel normal to me as far as being a hoop shoe. So
yeah, man, and see like you, Kemba, you, Kemba, and like someone else, they would tell me the Jordan 10s are like easy to hoop in. I'm like, wow, because I remember Michael Jordan had an issue with the 10 where they had to like take it back and take off a certain piece of the shoe to make it feasible for him to wear him. But speaking of Michael Jordan, my guy Chad had a good question for you, man. Obviously, being on the brand, you had a chance to probably meet Michael Jordan. How was that, man? Because like it's different, right? That's the greatest thing in the world, man, to see that guy, because like you wear his shoes, he's like a logo basically at this point, right? How does it feel to meet Michael Jordan, man?
right, man, it was dope. I was in high school the first time I met him. It was at the Jordan Brand Classic, and they kind of let us. It was like 10 minutes of a questionnaire. They let us shake his hand and ask whatever we wanted. Of course, everybody was too nervous to ask him anything, but it was dope just to see him in person, to be able to ask him stuff, but also just as I went on to learn different stuff about him and be a part of the Jordan Brand. I think that was one thing. I think when we were talking about sneaker deals when I came out of college, they kind of asked me if it wasn't about money, where would you sign as far as sneakers? And I said Jordan Brand. And they're like, all right, well, we have this offer on the table. Like, what, and then from there on, it was kind of a foregone conclusion I was going to sign with them. And first time I met him, just his swag. I think you've seen it in the documentary. The way he walks. And I think that's, as hoopers, that's who we all wanted to look up to, whether there were certain guys we were a fan of. I think we all and idolize him. And
Okay, I think he may have froze up. Okay. Yeah, I think he's back now. Can you hear me?
Is it frozen? Yeah, I get you. Let me try to go inside, see if the connection is
Yeah,
working.
if you want to, you can close the video down, use that same link, and come back in,
Well,
and they'll be able to come back in.
okay, I'm gonna do it with my phone just see if it's better. I'll call you right
Okay,
back.
cool. All right, everybody, he's gonna be right back. But once again, I appreciate everybody definitely coming on here. He's gonna be right back. But just letting you guys know, man, prayers to everyone out there. Everyone be safe. Still quarantine the best way you can. I know we all want to get out and have some fun, and we want to get out there in the streets and stuff. But definitely wear your mask, your gloves. I just saw my boy Coach Easy tweet out. Y'all do know the mask supposed to cover your nose. A lot of people walking out with the mask at the bottom lip. So yeah, man, y'all just stay safe out there, man. Stay quarantined. Just get get all of the essentials, man, and get home, man. Other than that, man, like I said, prayers to everyone that's affected right now. What's going on in the world? Of course, Black lives do matter. Just pray for us as African Americans and things, and we got them back. Let's see if we got them now. All right, cool.
Yeah,
There we go. All right, yeah, it's good now. There we go.
My bad. I was outside. My house is a little loud, so you might hear some.
Oh no, you good? You good, man? Hey, I know they getting it in over there, man. You good, man? Trust me. Hey, the kids come on all the time on the show, man. That's what usually happens, man. So, my last pickup, well, because I missed out on everything because you know how I go on sneakers app these days. I picked up the 5s, right?
Right.
Man, what was your last what was your last pickup, or what was the last thing that you got in?
So right before the quarantine everything hit, I was trying to get the Sakai's, the all white.
Okay.
Yeah, so the Sakai's were the last one I got. I missed out, crazy enough, on the Syracuse dunks. Mm-hmm. Still kicking myself over that. Because that was one of the only kicks I was like really looking forward to.
Mm-hmm.
And I totally missed the date. I totally forgot about it until O'Shea Brissett, who went to Syracuse and I played with him this past year, pulled up, and I'm like, yo, those really came out, and I forgot. So those are the shoe I missed out, and the Sakai's are the last shoe I really picked up though.
Man, that's the Sakai's, man. I'll tell you what, man, like they got some more. I saw a custom today on IG where somebody took the Ben and Jerry dunks. Now let me ask you a question. Did you even try to get the Ben and Jerry's?
We did. So I got a funny story. I never had to I usually, from high school, I just ask my Nike guy. I'm in college, and in high school, I always figured out a way to get them. But so the Ben and Jerry's came out, or they were coming out, and Erica had to explain to me how the sneakers app works.
Oh,
yeah. So we were. So she's like, I need to do this for you. I need to put in your info already. And we woke up and we both tried. So that was the first sneaker I ever tried to get on the sneakers app. And of course I didn't get them because they say nobody gets them. But
no, it was a fail. You know how much they're going for resale, right? They're like $1,000 like over now on resale.
It's crazy, but I can see why the chase for sneakerheads, and that's what Erica talked about. Outside of liking the kicks was just the chase of it, doing the sneakers app, waking up, remembering the dates. So I mean, it was fun. Obviously, I'd rather have gotten the kicks, but it was a good experience.
Yeah, it's gonna get crazy, man. Because I don't know what's coming next, but there's a couple of them that are coming, and it's gonna be crazy. Like I believe they made like. Did you ever get the Syracuse dunks and stuff? Did you ever get those?
Sorry, repeat
Syracuse.
that?
You know they got the Syracuse dunks. Did you ever get? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, my bad. Yeah,
okay.
No, I missed out. On the Syracuse dunks. Yeah, so my boy hit me up because he knew I was hurt about missing out. And he's like, bro, I know you don't like resell. I know you don't like this, but I got them. And I haven't pulled the trigger on them, but I think I have to. I think that's one pair I need, whether I pay resell price or not. I think, I would feel away if I don't have those. So I'm still in the market trying to get them. Size 13. Anybody got those? Holler at me so I could get them.
Okay, because I got a couple of people that's in the thing right now that's size 15, and I know they got them. So look, man, we talked about this before as a community. We take care of each other. Y'all hear my mans?
Yeah.
We got to step up. I'll set up a text message between y'all. I see y'all in the comments saying I got you, and we gonna set this up because man, look, man, I tell people this all the time, and people think it's just great, you know, being an NBA guy, you get a lot of these shoes you can't get because it's so limited. Even if you're on the brand, you don't really get everything. And like, you're out there on the hunt too, and you got to pay resale. I've seen some of the best players in the world pay resale for shoes because they couldn't get them, especially in a bigger size. That's even worse. Like you really limited it then. So, man, I think that's dope, man. So, other than that, man, so let's just say, for instance, you know, Nike or whatever, Jordan Brand, or somebody comes along and says, hey, we want you to create a shoe for your family. It's going to be a PE for the family. Yep. What would it be inspired by, man?
You know what? I think one of the things kind of central for my family, we all wear number 11. Mm-hmm. Myself, obviously, that's my number. I might not get to wear it because that's a popular number. But that was my number in college, number in high school. My little brother wears it. My little sister who hoops and she's sitting right here, she wears number 11 and number 1. But you know, I think that would be what it would be centered around. You know, but I love doing that. I think since I was a kid, I would go on Nike ID and create shoes. I wouldn't order them, and then finally, as I got to the NBA, I was able to go online and do colorways and add names and different stuff. So, you know, obviously I had my daughters involved in the kicks, and I think that'd be cool for them to look back once they're old enough to realize that they had their name on my shoes while I was hooping. And then just is anything really. I got a huge family, so putting all their names on it would be fun for them to see. And I do little fun stuff as the season goes on when I order new stuff, and they always find it cool because they're so young, you know. So,
man, that's dope, man. So one thing I do talk about here is video games. I know you're a busy man with the hooping and then obviously family life, but you play video games?
Yeah. Especially in this quarantine, even more. But yeah, I do.
All right, so what's your go-to games, man?
Call of Duty.
Ooh.
Call of Duty. I've been on it heavy since this.
So you play Warzone, right?
Yep.
Okay. So like with Call of Duty, man, like you see how competitive it is. Are you doing the streaming or anything? Are you gonna get involved in streaming like online, or you think you know? I tell people all the time, you don't have to be good to do that. I think it'd be just entertaining to have you on there. But are you planning on streaming like some games and stuff like that eventually?
No, I haven't streamed. For me, I think it was I don't play consistently enough to get on the stream. Yeah. I think with the quarantine I could have done it because I've been playing every day and playing Warzone and all the different modes, but I think during the season I don't think I would get the consistent crowd. But
I like that.
Yeah, I'd be interested. It's fun to see all the NBA guys get on and play with each other. Yeah, but I play it all. Warzone. Me and my crew, we have a group chat, about 4 of us. Jordan Clarkson's in it. We get on and we play Warzone damn near every night. So it's pretty cool. I think that's kind of the connection we got. We can't see each other, but we're able to talk and play the game together. So
yeah. It's dope, man. I learned the hard way because, like, it's funny because, like, one of my good friends is Seth Curry. So Seth plays Warzone all the time, right? So I remember, like, I was like, hey, he's going to be all right. He's pretty good at it. And then one day I just jumped in the game, and I guess randomly we got put in the same lobby. I was thinking everything is all good. This dude just, I mean, like, I don't know. Y'all, for some odd reason, athletes seem to catch on the video games quicker than, like, the average human. I don't get it. Like, maybe it's the competitive thing, but you know, I think it's dope that you guys are able to do that. But let me ask you a question. So obviously, you've been on NBA 2K before. You saw yourself on the game. How did you think about that, man? Because I know as a kid, that was like a dream. You had to create yourself, but now, like, you're actually, your face, everything was on the game and stuff. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, it was pretty cool, man. I was a huge 2K guy growing up. Obviously, in a house full of boys, we would always play each other. Yeah. But you know, for me, the first time I was in it, it was cool, but you know, I think I lost the love for the game as I was in it, because you start getting into like, why can't I dunk? Why can't I do this? And then I think you hear a lot of guys in the NBA be like, I don't play 2K. I think that's the reason. As you wait so long for it, and then you get it, and then after a while you kind of lose love for it. But I play 2K. I mostly against somebody. I'm not into my park and stuff. My little brother is huge on it. So I still see it and I watch him play. But for the most part, I'm into the Call of Duty. I played Fortnite a little bit. I never really got into it like everybody else, but yeah, I'm a heavy Call of Duty player right now. So y'all could send me y'all gamer tags we can get on and play. So that'd be cool.
So if you could be on the video game, let's just say, for instance, a studio comes along and says, "Hey, we want you to be a character in our video game." It could be Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto. It could be, any game. What game would you want to be on outside of a basketball game?
Hold on, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Oh,
can you hear me now?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you. I'm back out. You want me to rejoin it again?
Yeah.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, we talking video games right now. So everybody, while we in here, definitely post your gamer tag. I'm gonna set up something with my guy so we can get y'all all in on the game or something like that, man. Because yeah, we do play all the time, man, and it's fun playing the game, man. Like we get involved into these video games. Like for me, like I play everything: Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, 2K. I don't play Madden anymore because Madden. Yeah, I'm not happy with Madden right now. And I say that every year because when Madden come out, I'm gonna be the first one posting videos, all happy and stuff. But yeah, man, 2K, Madden. I play everything, man. Like tonight, I'm gonna be streaming with my dogs. We're gonna be playing some old school Xbox 360 games on the Xbox One. We're gonna be playing Left 4 Dead. So anybody into Left 4 Dead, y'all hit me up, man. That's like one of my favorite games of all time that I get into, man. Just looking at the comments real quick. Shout out to everybody that's in here right now. So, yeah, shout out to my boy Chad. Yeah, man, we back. Definitely glad to be back, man. Like I said, just taking a little break with everything going on right now. Shout out to my guy Keith, man. Hope y'all doing well out there, man. All right, so he's back. So what I was asking you is this, bro. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, perfect. So say if you could be on a video game, let's say if a studio calls you, right? Let's say if Rockstar, Activision, any studio calls you outside of 2K, if you had a dream video game to be on, what would it be as a character? You could be any character you want to be. Like you can be on Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto. What game would it be?
That's a good one. I'd probably say either Fortnite.
Okay.
Just because of how big it is, and my little brother plays a lot, so he's into the skins and all that. So I think that would be dope to be in there and have people play as you. But I think GTA, Grand Theft Auto would be dope.
Yeah,
I don't even know when did Grand Theft Auto come out, and people are still playing online now.
Dude, I play that game faithfully. That game came out, I think, in 2011, 2013, somewhere between 2011 and 2013, bro.
Yeah, so we 5+ years removed from when it came out, and we're still playing online. I'm just excited for the next one to come out, but I think that would be huge. I think they should do one in Toronto.
There you go.
We did a bunch of just the location of them. I don't even know what the next one is if they announced it, but I'm excited for the next one to come out.
Oh man, it's legendary. Like, look, I tell everybody, there's one gaming company that doesn't miss, and that's Rockstar. Whether it's GTA, Red Dead Redemption, they do not miss on anything. They hit the home run every time, man. So obviously, man, before we get into our last thing, which is trivia, I like doing music trivia. It's not gonna be trivia; it's more opinionated answers here. One thing I know that you talk about now on social media, and you've been very active about it, is Black Lives Matter. So obviously, a lot going on in the world right now, man. I just want you to, show your gratitude and tell everyone how you feel about everything right now and what's going on, man.
Yeah, it's just I don't even know how to if there's a word to explain what we're going through. As far as everything combined, the Black Lives Matter protests, the COVID-19 stuff. I just think this year is going to be one to remember as far as changing the way we live. And, I think a lot of people don't understand what Black Lives Matter means and what the Black community has been going through. For me, I'm somebody that's, mixed. My mom's from Jamaica. My dad's from Canada. He's born in Canada. So I'm both. So, I see both sides of it. in high school, I was or transferring to school in New Jersey and being one of the lightest guys there. I think I don't look at myself as somebody who's both. I don't look at myself like, oh, I'm mixed, I'm everything. I'm a black person, because when somebody sees me, that's what they see, and that's what I have pride in. And I think it's great to see everybody kind of having a hand, everybody in the black community, whether you're a celebrity, a professional athlete, or just a normal person. I think everybody's doing their part, or trying to do their part through social media, through the protests. And I think it's great to see everybody come together. We see so much people doing their own things and living their own lives, and we hear all the negative stuff. But I think if you look at what's going on and how you're able to have protests in all 50 states, you're able to have protests in Canada, you're able to have protests overseas. I think it's just so many people were realizing what was going on and the oppression that black people were going through. And it's sad that nobody spoke up until there was rioting and protests. But I think that's what had to be done. And I think, speaking personally, there's no time I'm more proud to be a black man than now. Seeing the strength that everybody has, and that everybody has a different situation and story, for the most part, and we're all just kind of banding together, all races, not just black people, but all races, all genders, all nationalities. So I think it's just a time, I think, when things happen, when there's sickness outbreak, when there's different events that happen that bring us together. I think 9/11 was one that I always remember, really feeling like the world was on the same page. We all working for the same thing. We all wanted to be on the same page. And I think this is now, for the most part, obviously there's a certain group that's not, but for the most part, everybody wants to see racism abolished, and hopefully we continue moving forward. I don't know how it ends, honestly, with who's in office. I don't know how this whole thing will end, and that'll just play out. But I think changes are being made, and we just got to continue fighting for them, because it's not handed to us. So
yeah, man, I'm glad you said that, man. Like I said, it's dope, man, because like being African Americans, being black, for us, it's a unique thing, man, because like being like you're a younger guy, me being predominantly younger guy, it's just seeing us doing things, in culture, like, being on the court, being able to communicate with each other, seeing how far we came, and then these things that are setting us back, with all the police brutality and things. You just got to hope and pray that everything gets better. And like I said, the rioting had to happen. Like, what else can we do at this point? We prayed 100%. Enough, we shook hands, we done everything, and nothing has come of it. But now the rioting, now people starting to see it. So I just think that we got to pray for everyone. Rest in peace to George Floyd. Rest in peace to Breonna Taylor. All those that have been impacted, family, friends, everyone. This is a very unfortunate thing. So we're gonna transition over. We're gonna have some fun now, because I gotta ask you. You're a Toronto guy, so I already know what you listen to. So you ain't gotta. So I'm not gonna even look, man. I don't even think I even gotta ask you. But man, what's on the music playlist these days? Because y'all got a lot of stuff going on out there, man. Because I know you got yeah. Just go ahead and tell me what you listen to these days, man.
Right now, it's like today, I've been listening to a lot of Lil Baby. With his new deluxe. The deluxe, I think, is crazy. Okay. I'm a Lil Baby fan. I've been listening to a lot of Toronto artists. I mean, we had a 21-year-old kid who actually went to school with my sister, his name was Houdini. He passed away probably 2 weeks ago. So rest in peace to him. But I think Toronto has a lot of up and coming, kind of underground right now, but up and coming artists. And I think for me, I do listen to a lot of Toronto, the Drake, Tory, The Weeknd. I think it's different for I don't know who everybody has, but when somebody's from where you're from, and they're talking about their experiences growing up, you kind of relate to it differently because you're able to see that. But yeah, those are probably my top. Drake's most recent project is obviously still in the rotation too. So
That's crazy. That's crazy, man. Because y'all got everybody, man. Like y'all got all the produce. I got everything going right now. It's the craziest thing ever. Like it's like, hey, one time the West Coast and Toronto is just coming from everywhere. I mean, like you said, Tory, Drake, The Weeknd, just this artist, among artists and everything. Now, beyond that, obviously the biggest thing on IG right now is the IG versus guys. Have you been able to keep up with any of them? Like, man, is there a particular one that you like the most, or is there anyone that you want to see possibly? Go ahead.
Yeah, the first one I watched, I think it might have been the first one, was Boy Wonder versus Hit Boy. And boy, but Wonder's from Toronto. Again, I keep talking about Toronto, but Wonder's from Toronto, so we're friends, and it was good to see him kind of go through his catalog and show everybody what he has. The thing we forget, it's been so long he's been putting out hits and helping people put out hits. You kind of forget all that he had his hand in, and I like that one. The most recently, the Jagged Edge and 112 battle was because I'm a big fan of 90s R&B, so it was good to see that. The Beanie Man one,
that was crazy.
Yeah. Because I grew up, my mom's Jamaican, like I said, so we grew up listening to a bunch of those songs. I do want to see some more battles, like maybe like a Jay-Z. A couple like huge artists kind of get on, like Jay-Z versus Drake or something crazy like that. But I mean, I don't think we'll ever get there.
Yeah, I don't know if they got enough space on IG for Jay-Z versus Drake. Could you imagine, bro? Like, think about this. We hit 1 million with a couple of them, right? Got close to it. Like, could you imagine like Drake and Jay-Z doing? Like, they would have to shut the internet down. Like, it would have to go on TV. I think that would be a live TV. Like, because like, look, man, hit for hit, that would be crazy because like, Jay-Z arguably is the GOAT rapper of all time, right? And then Drake is here. Drake is, he's here, man. Like he ain't going nowhere. So like Drake is getting up there in the rankings too all the time, and he already is there. So I can't imagine like I told somebody like if we can get something, obviously if it ain't Jay-Z, what if it was like Kanye versus Drake? Like that'd be kind of cool because the generations are kind of there, and like I don't know a rapper right now that can compete with Drake when it comes to hits, like in this current generation, because there's so many. Drake has like, it wouldn't even be fair. Like Drake can play 20 B-sides, be like, yeah, bro, like yeah, here you go. But like Drake came with all his work, it'd be maybe Lil Wayne. Like Lil Wayne would be probably like somebody that I can see. Wayne and Drake like going at it, like that'd be a good battle, man. But man, so now we're gonna get to this game, man, called Got Bars, man. So shout out to my boy T Hall and all that, man. I'm gonna get you some of these. I'm gonna send some to you, man. So we're part of this thing called Got Bars Official, man. We got a dope little hip hop trivia game, but we're not gonna do the trivia side. We're gonna do what we call action cards, right? So I'm gonna read them off to you. You just gotta give me your answer. Like it's just opinionated. You're not right or wrong on these. So we're gonna have some fun real quick. All right, so the first action card from Got Bars is gonna be Biggie or Tupac.
Biggie.
Okay.
It's a close one, though.
No, this is a 50-50 split between these. Like, every time I've done these, it's a 50-50 split. All right.
Yeah.
So now one must go. 21 Savage, Lil Uzi Vert, Kodak Black, or Lil Baby?
21 Savage.
Okay. Yeah, he ain't taking Lil Baby off right now.
No, not right now.
It ain't working right now, buddy. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. We got. Okay. Name the best rap group ever. In your opinion. And I'll help if you want some answers, like some more known answers. Just example. I get a lot of not Drake. I'm sorry. I get a lot of Outkast. I get a lot of Bone Thugs and Harmony. Wu-Tang. If you consider them a group. Obviously, if you consider Outkast a group being a duo, people kind of classify that a lot, but it's so many of them, man. You got Mobb Deep, depending on how you feel about them. NWA, it's just so many of them.
I think it's tough. I think NWA, just off of what Ice Cube and those guys became. Obviously, they were a huge group together, but afterwards, me being younger than I didn't grow up on NWA. I wasn't born yet, but being able to watch the documentary and seeing the history behind it, not just the songs, I think it's got to be them. Maybe if somebody that I grew up listening to, probably Outkast from the people you named, but I'm sure after this I'll probably think of some more. That's a good question. I never got that one before.
All right. So now one must go. And I already know one of them is not going on this list. So one must go. Drake, Meek Mill, J. Cole, or Big Sean?
Oh, shoot. Big Sean.
Yeah, and that's tough because
It's tough.
that's tough.
I'm a
He's
fan
always
of Big Sean though. I'm looking forward to his new album coming out. I don't know when it's coming out, but that's tough. That's a good one. But yeah,
that's
probably Big Sean out of those.
Yeah, it would have to be Big Sean. All right. So now, name the most lyrical rapper ever.
Ooh. For me personally, I'm gonna go with Jay.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Jay because
okay.
Even I've listened to the songs a million times, but even today, I'll listen to something and catch something like, oh, he said that because it and kind of piece it together. And for me, I think he has a mix of just hits that you could just listen to. He has some stuff that you can listen to the lyrics. I think he has the mix, and I think that's why I'm such a big fan of Drake. Outside of being from where he's from, I think is because I don't just like hip hop. I don't like just like R&B. I like to mix it up and rapping, and sometimes he's singing, and I like the versatility, and a lot of people hate that about him, but for me it's like, on his album out of 12 songs he's able to put together a whole bunch of them in different beats and different things. So I'll probably say him. Jay is probably the most lyrical to me.
I like that. Name the best female rapper ever or ever to rap. This one's tough because
is Lauryn Hill. Are you counting her as a rapper?
I will.
Oh, Lauryn Hill.
Okay. I don't have a problem with that. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I will. Like, I know because people look at the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill album, they go, oh, that doesn't. No, she was with the Fugees.
Right.
And, she can really, really rap. Okay, right. I like that. All right, so, okay, there's a good one right here. Gucci Mane or Jeezy?
Gucci.
Okay, I agree with you on that one. Okay. Now, name the best East Coast rapper ever. No answers right or wrong here. So you got to name the best East Coast rapper ever. Obviously, Biggie and Jay come to mind. You got Rakim. You got all of them. Who's the best East Coast rapper ever?
Jay.
Okay.
Jay-Z.
I agree with you. Jay's the GOAT. To me, Jay's the GOAT. Yeah,
Jay's my number one, regardless of anything. So he got to be up there, but Big is up there as well.
Okay. I like that answer. Okay. Well, I know the answer to this. So, and this is going to be a two-part question for me. Jay-Z or Nas?
Jay-Z.
Okay. Being honest, who had the better diss record, Jay-Z or Nas?
Well, I'm a Jay-Z. Not that I'm not a Nas fan. I think because my pops listened to Jay growing up, I think I was biased towards Jay.
Yeah.
But that's tough. That's probably one of the best beefs that we've seen.
Could you imagine social media? Could you imagine like if we was in this generation and that song Ether popped up out of nowhere?
Yo, crazy. And even till today it's crazy. But I mean, I think I'm biased, but I'm gonna go with Jay because he's my number one of all time. So
yeah. And see, like it's crazy how it works. Like one of my homeboys that's watching right now, Chad, he's a big Jay fan, right? And I love Nas. Like I love Nas. And I remember when they got into their little beef or whatever, I was just like, oh my God, you couldn't tell me nothing about Ether. Now we can fast forward 15 years or whatever. Now I'm like, man, Jay is the GOAT, bro. Like, and I don't know, like Jay is probably the only person, him and Drake are the most invincible rappers ever to get any kind of like slander. Because you can bring like Pusha had one of the best diss records ever. And then all of a sudden, Drake, you would think that's it for Drake. Drake is still here. And Drake ain't going nowhere. It just helped him out. It just put him out there even more. So that's crazy. So I got to ask you this now. What was the first hip hop album that you ever purchased that you remember?
I think was Get Rich or Die Trying for 50 was that the red? It was the cover was red.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, red with him in the with the glass.
So that was my first. Yeah. That was my first physical copy of something of music that I own. I got it for Christmas, and me and my brothers we'd always ask for the same thing. So we all got a different album, and that was my first one. I remember just listening to it over and over and over and over. But that was my first album. I don't have it.
And to all the young people out there, let's understand this. I get 50's on social media trolling now, but at one point in time, 50 was the best rapper in the game. And it wasn't even an argument. Like we were just like, look, Jay was there, all of them was there. 50 really was like everywhere. Like I remember you couldn't cut on the radio here in Texas in the South. All you heard was 50, man. So shout out to 50. So speaking of Jay, I need you to rank these albums. And it's not all of his albums because obviously I think I kind of know what number one is because it's kind of unanimous. But I'm gonna name these 5 albums and you can put them in order. So obviously we have the 444 album, Reasonable Doubt,
right?
The Blueprint, the first Blueprint. The first Blueprint. I'm sorry, Volume 3, and the Black Album. So what will be the number one album in that case for you? I think I kind of know this. Right? Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna talk to them because this is like a unit. Like I can't imagine anybody else. Like it's so weird to me. Like when somebody doesn't name Reasonable Doubt as his best album. Like I'm like, really? Like you gonna do that? Like, man, I think to me personally, Reasonable Doubt, I would say, in this list, Blueprint's probably number 2 on this list.
Yeah, I agree.
I gradually now I really love the Black Album. I love that a lot. The Black Album's amazing. 444 is gonna be like 10 years from now when I'm like super old and like I'm gonna go back and listen to it and feel like an old man, be like, yeah, that's the hits, man. So yeah, Reasonable Doubt's got to be number 1. All right, so last question, man. I think I know the answer to this. We're gonna see where you at on this. But who is the current king of hip hop?
Oh, Drake, easily.
Okay, I don't disagree. Look, I don't disagree. I'm not gonna argue. Look, I ain't arguing that because look, man, Drake put out a dance song, bro, and it was like the craziest thing ever.
It's funny talking to. I got a lot of friends from the West Coast, and we played a game similar, and the question was Drake or Kendrick.
Okay.
And with the whole house was divided. Everybody from the West is like Kendrick, and we were all from Toronto. We're all like Drake. So it's funny to see. Obviously, they're both great, but the bias. Kendrick obviously being a West Coast guy, I think it's easier for them to say that.
Yeah, I love Kendrick, man, but like I don't know if like Drake could just throw a song out, right? And that's where he's at this point. He could just throw a song out, and it's like a big thing. Like, yeah. And like I know Kendrick could probably likely do the same, but I think now if you're just talking about rapping, yeah, Kendrick is a better rapper. We're not gonna argue that. He's he's a better rapper. But when it comes to like making music or just making songs, yeah, Drake, man, I don't know if he can just really miss on certain. I mean, I don't listen to Drake all the time, but I'm just assuming off of like that fan bases or like music, he's always on the radio. Every time I turn around, Drake is on the radio. Yeah. No matter what. If he's on somebody else's song, he's somewhere else, and like he just gets on, like you said, he can sing. He'll get on there and sing like he did a song with Summer Walker. I remember one day I was in the car and I was like, okay, I like this Summer Walker. And all of a sudden, his song kind of slowed down, and here comes Drake. I'm like, what in the world is this, man? Drake is on this? Like, what can he not do? This is getting on my dude. Like, I just remember when he started getting really big, when he was like in the Cash Money, Young Money thing, like when they were coming up. I remember I used to get so mad because every time I heard him, like he would just come out of nowhere. And then he was rapping, right? But now all of a sudden one day he's like, "Woulda came back for you." And I'm like, what the hell, man? And it's cold. Like you can't even hate him. So actually, I got one more for you. So we're gonna do this. This is gonna be fun. I'm gonna switch this one up. So typically, this is like a one answer, like you pick between these three, but you got to eliminate one on this one. Okay. Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, or Drake?
I knew that was going to be the question too.
Yep.
Oh, I'll probably eliminate
J. Cole.
Probably Kendrick.
Wow. Ooh.
Let me explain this though, because one of my best friends put me on Kendrick when I was in high school.
Okay.
And, so that's when I started listening to him, like my last year of high school. So I was on him. I feel like that's kind of late, but I going through high school, I remember listening to Cole. So I could go through and say the lyrics for all these Cole, and he's one of my favorite rappers as well. And not that Kendrick's not, but I just think for me, I'll be listening to Cole, as long as I can, as long as I can remember. So
yeah, and also Cole is a hooper, so it's kind of like a part of the family in a way because he's a hooper. He can hoop. So yeah, Cole. Yeah, man. Cole's mixtapes, his early mixtapes are crazy. Like shout out to J. Cole, man. Like he's doing his thing out there too. So yeah, shout out to Got Bars. I'm gonna definitely get some out to you, man, so you can enjoy that game. But man, we about to close this down, man, and I'm gonna shut it down after I give this little thing out, and definitely stay in the room. But you know, everybody be sure to follow Tyler. And one thing about Tyler, I'm gonna say this. I remember, man, when he got hurt this last go around, right? I remember the day it happened. I remember sitting at my computer, and I remember the time zones are different. I woke up to it. So I was like, because I was like, what is going on? And I woke up to it like I woke up to it. I remember I texted the guy, and he was in good spirits, man. Like he responded and everything. And I'm glad to see you, man, back on your feet and everything, doing everything, man, to get yourself back into the game, man. So salute to you, man. Everybody follow this guy on Twitter and IG. Definitely hit him up, man. This is a great guy, man. We're gonna get you back on obviously soon. One day I might have a big round table, get Katie, get all y'all in here at once so we can just chop it up. Cause yeah, your Kendrick Lamar thing is that's gonna be one of the topics there. Cause you're gonna have to answer for that for everybody. Cause I don't know about you the first person to say Kendrick Lamar. It's usually it's unanimous J. Cole when it comes to
J. Cole, usually, yeah.
Well, no, because the one time it wasn't. I did it with Dennis because you know Dennis Smith is from Carolina. Him and J. Cole are tight. So Dennis is like, nah, I ain't doing that one, brother. He said it's gonna be Kent. I think he may have said Drake because he was like he had to pick with his poison. He's like, I can't do J. Cole. He said you know better than that. So yeah, man, we're gonna get you back on. I appreciate you, man. Salute to you, man, for being a great family guy, man. You know, shout out to Erica, shout out to your babies, man, your two kids, man. Shout out to your family, man. I'm look forward to seeing you back on the court, man. Do your thing, and yeah, man. Everybody, be sure to follow this guy. His link and stuff will be in the profile when this video actually uploads on YouTube. It is live right now, but when it uploads, it'll be there. So we're gonna be out, man. You got anything you want to give a shout out to anybody? Anything, man?
Nah, appreciate you, bro. Thanks for bringing me on. I know it's been a while since we talked, so it's good to see you, bro. Great to see everything you're doing, and just appreciate you bringing me on, and I enjoy doing it. So yeah, whenever you invite me back, I'm here with you. So.
Oh man, that's love, bro. So yeah, I'm gonna close this down, man, but stay in here. So I'm gonna close down right now. And everybody, we out. Be sure to follow. I see y'all going to the channels now. Be sure to follow him and like all his photos and everything, man. And Tyler, he love talking sneakers just like us, man. So we out.